Okay, looks like we're streaming. Let me go get this stream going. Let me go post this on the website. Copy. So we're coming out of the website, and of course we have to tweet. And my phone has. People are unaware that from 10 to 2, I am not able to accept calls. All right, let's go for the website. I have it on one of these tabs. Here it is. Let's edit to the page. We'll post a link on our here for the daily broadcast. Today, we have two things going. Well, we have really three things. We're going to review Frere Jacques. We are going to review strumming in the key of A. And we are going to learn about the legendary Make a Better Bar worksheet. This is the one thing I think that if you're going to play instrumentally, you got to get good at bar chords. And so this little worksheet here doesn't take but 2 minutes to cover, but it is super important for your long-term health. Oops, put that on the wrong line. Let me go back. Let me go down here and post it on the right line. I reorganized the front page of the website, and then now it's outsmarting me. So let me come back up here, and I'm going to hit update again. Update, and then let's make sure it looks proper. I tried to make the website easier to use, and I think I have made it harder for me to know where I am on any given day. Next week it'll be better because the first Tuesday, we have so many pieces of paper to cover from Tuesday that. All right, so let me scroll down here. Thursday, click on the link, pops open to lesson number 10. That's what we're on, and then. So we're streaming, got the website posted. The minute you guys come in, if you will let me know if the sound is good and that you're hearing something, first person in the chat who says, hey, yep, I can hear you, it sounds good, and that always sort of takes a weight off my shoulders. https://jollyrogerukulele.com. Patience. And we go in, we'll add the lesson number 10 little image, and we hit tweet. Foundation reading lesson number 10, lesson 10, awesome. All right, so tweeted properly, and then today, all right, so the first thing we're going to do three things today. We're going to review Frere Jacques, we are going to play the Make a Better Bar worksheet, and then we are going to wrap up the day with a couple of tunes out of the Key of A major book. So you want to have all three of those resources. And let me grab I don't need to grab that. Okay, so we're in good shape. In fact, I think I'm in really good shape. Nancy's in today. She says the sound is good. Nancy's from Florida. They've been having good weather down there. Vic is in. She's got rain in you up in Oregon. That's pretty typical of there. Mary G, she's in from Golden here in west of Denver. I consider her from Denver, but she considers herself from Golden. The difference is about a mile. And then Linda's in from Colorado Springs. The Springs. I love that. Colorado Springs is one of the most beautiful places in the world. And I suppose on how you look at it, it's either a great community or a weird community. Years and years ago, I was in the real estate business, doing commercial real estate, and I built the Kohl's shopping center. I don't know if it's still a Kohl's shopping center or not, the Safeway shopping center over on North Powers Boulevard. And so every week I had to drive down to Colorado Springs from Denver, and I would meet with the construction workers, and they were all 6'6", and we'd meet in this little trailer, and I was in charge, right, because I'm the guy with the money, and they're telling me what's what, and I'd have to, it was a very, very strange thing. And then as soon as we got the shopping center up and built and all that, Petco, Kohl's, Safeway, a couple of strip malls in there, and I don't remember what else. There was some stuff on the pads. A Blockbuster Video. Can't remember what else we built on that space. And then somebody from California came in and bought it. And so that was that. So that was my experience. I used to go down there. I would go down and I try to go down early, because you want to meet construction workers early because they get there early. So go down and talk to them for early, and then I would try to be done by noon so then I could go downtown. There was an Irish place. I don't remember the name of the place, but it was like a little Irish pub in the downtown area, and it was a delight. So And I never really got. I had the touristy things you do. I did all that stuff when I was a kid. You go to Cave of the Winds, and then that Garden of the Gods and Manitou Springs, I think, and all that kind of stuff down there. Beautiful, right? So pretty little town. Oh, the Air Force Academy. They got this church that has this giant thing on it. Very cool. It's a lovely town. Q is in from California, hanging on, still waiting for the rain. Come on, rain, come to California. All right, guys, let's get started. Let me give the briefest of overview. We do teach baritone and ukulele simultaneously on purpose. I started this last, a couple months back, and it really makes a lot of sense for those of you who are ukulele only to learn to play along with the baritones. And same way, if you have only a baritone and you are wanting to learn to play that, you got to learn how to play along with the ukulele players. And so yesterday we talked about tuning G, C, E, A. George Clooney eats apples for your ukuleles. And dog bone, we learned yesterday, it was an awesome one. D, G, D, E for baritone. Let me get this guy tuned up. D, a little low, let me tune him up. D, G, B, and E. Dog bone. D-G-B-E. Dog bone. That's funny. And somebody else said dog B. I don't like that as much though, so I'm going to use dog bone. And that's how to tune. You are remembering you're holding the ukulele at this position. You are going to need a strap, so you are going to buy one with a little button on the end. You put a pilot hole on here, stick that on the end, and nothing funner, nothing more enjoyable than taking a drill and a screwdriver to your ukulele, and then making sure your thumb is on the back of the neck. I don't see your thumb. That's an important part of what we do here. Also, there was a practice log and a progress tracker on the day one. What we really worked on was Frere Jacques. So let's get you guys set up for Frere Jacques and make sure that you're feeling comfy with that. Jack Quinn's, that's probably the name of the place. It was lovely. It was that was my favorite thing. I go down, go to the negativity of the construction site, go do what I had to do there, and then the whole time I'm thinking, okay, I want to hurry up and make sure I get there by lunchtime to have a corned beef and corned beef and cabbage. What do they call that sandwich? Reuben sandwich. Yeah, go down and do that. I don't know if it was any good. I don't remember. I just remember it being a joy to be in that building. Good day, Gary. Balmy 12 degrees up in northern Ontario. That's Fahrenheit, guys. Today is sunny and blue skies. So they're having a much better day in Alberta, Canada than they're having down in Texas. I'm just now noticing my hair is all crazy. All right, let's get started on Frere Jacques. You're grabbing your ukulele page first. Let's make sure that this is going well for you. This is the most important lesson of all of the lessons and all of the things. We'll do hundreds of songs. There's Alberta. What did I say? It's Northern Alberta. Yeah, Alberta, I think is how we pronounce it. It's the same one with Calgary in it. Calgary is down here, and Jim is way up there. All right. Frere Jacques, we're going to play ukulele players. You're going to play the melody. Baritone players, you're going to play the chords. So baritone, you're using an A chord here. Index, middle, ring. Index, middle, ring. Okay, that's your chord. Melody players on ukulele. 1, 2, 3, 4. 0, 2, 4, 0, 0, 2, 4, 0, 4, 5, 7, 4, 5, 7, 7, 9, 7, 5, 4, 0, 7, 9, 7, 5, 4, 0. First string, second string, first string, second string, first string. Okay, so the nice part about that is theoretically, you're just looking at the paper and learning where your frets are, learning the whole fretboard all at one time, and then learning how to use different fingers as you're going down the fretboard. You don't absolutely have to use the fingers that I use, but you do not want to just use one all the way up and down, because one, it's very slow, and two, you have the potential of cutting your finger open, sliding it up and down on this a lot, and so we don't want that. We want you using multiple fingers coming down the fretboard and playing the melody. By playing the melody, you don't have to sing. And for those of you who are not super excited about singing, and that's a great relief, right? For those of you who do sing, we're going to teach you how to play that way as well. I'm just now realizing, I think I said that Jim was in Northern Ontario, which is the French province, right? And so Jim's like, I don't live over there where the French guys live. We don't like those guys. He's like, I'm in Alberta. Probably different depending on, I have a cartoon version of what Canada is all about in my head. I know that it's not how that is in reality. That's like when you go to Vancouver and you're thinking, all right, we're going to run into a bunch of Canadians up here. It'll be very exciting. Well, everybody will be 6'6" and blonde. And you go to Vancouver and everybody's Asian, and you're like, wait a minute, this isn't what I picture Canada to be. They have a huge Asian population there, and so if you ever want to go to get great pho, that was the first place I ever got pho, and PHO, pho. We know all Americans call it pho. It's pronounced pho. Oh my gosh, Vancouver is the place to be. All right, ukulele players, you're grabbing your A chord, index, middle. Do I get this right? Index, middle. That's your A chord. Okay, you baritone players, you're staying with your A chord. Let's do 4 beats per measure. 1, 2, 3, 4. Frère Jacques, Frère Jacques. Dormez-vous, dormez-vous, sonnez les matines, sonnez les matines, ding, ding, dong, ding, ding, dong. Okay, beautiful. So that's just making sure that you're getting comfortable with strumming, getting comfortable with plucking, getting comfortable with doing different things with your right hand. When you go to most ukulele lessons, they're going to just teach you about strum patterns, down, up, down, up, down. And I want you to ignore all of that, because that's a goofy way to approach your right hand. It's a way that gets you spending a whole lot of energy on something that you're not really going to end up benefiting from. What you are going to benefit from is different attack strategies of what you're going to do with your right hand. Whether it's going down or up ends up being largely irrelevant, unless you are deciding as a group, everybody's going to strum this exactly the same. And so what we want to do is not be thinking about down and up, but be thinking more about different possible attack strategies with your right hand. Sarah made it in, who is really Mindy, okay, from Montana, found me again. That's exciting. Glad you're here, Mindy. All right, baritone. Same exact thing. Ukulele players, you are playing an E chord, so your bar is coming all the way up to fret 4, okay, laying it on there, and then your pinky is going to go up here on fret 8, okay, and that's what the shape you're looking at, okay, kind of complicated. Make sure your thumb is behind the neck where I don't see it, okay, and then it is going to be hanging out right in front of the bar, right where your middle finger would normally be. You're not going to use your middle finger. In fact, if you're having trouble keeping the bar down, you can actually take your middle finger and smash down on the bar. You're not going to learn a bad behavior by doing that, right? And it just helps you get your bar down a little bit in the beginning, get your muscle strength, helps with getting your muscles really strong. And there we go. Sarah says, I'm having trouble getting all 3 fingers for D. Yeah, for D, in 1, 2, 3, probably when the reason is, Mindy, maybe that your ukulele is too small. Okay, and we'll talk about that. Remind me to talk about that when we get out the strumming book, because a lot of times if you have a soprano or a concert ukulele and you get ready to make a D and you have a hard time getting all your fingers in there, I'll give you some strategies on that. But for most adults, you really do need a tenor size ukulele, because your hands just won't quite fit in there to make a D. And so, but when we get to the strumming book, let's talk about that again in more detail. Right now, I want you to make an E chord, which is a bar on 4, pinky on 8. Okay, baritone players, we're going to play the melody 0240, 0240, 457, 457. Oh, you have a tenor. Oh, maybe you got big hands. I'll give you a strategy when we get there, Mindy. Don't worry. We'll figure that out. From the top, baritone players, you're going to play the melody Ukulele players, you are playing an E chord. 1, 2, ready, play. 0, 2, 4, 0, 0, 2, 4, 0, 4, 5, 7, 4, 5, 7, 7, 9, 7, 5, 4, 0, 7, 9, 7, 5, 4, 0. First string, second string, first string, first string, second string, first string. Beautiful. So that's where we're working at with baritone. Playing an E chord. The ukulele players are supporting you with playing an E chord, 4 strums each. You are playing the melody, and nobody has to sing. Now, if you don't want to play the melody, you have to sing. Baritone players, your E chord looks like their A chord. Index finger here, middle finger there. Okay, but ukulele players, you're staying on your E chord down here, and here we go. 1, oh, and in Jim's honor, we'll sing it in English. How about that? 1, 2, ready, play. Are you sleeping? Are you sleeping, Brother John? Brother John. Morning bells are ringing. Morning bells are ringing. Ding, dang, dong. Ding, dang, dong. Oh, and then in Ontario's honor, let's do it in French. Okay, from the top. 1. Do this. Instead of doing any of the things I've already done, instead of just plucking, instead of strumming, instead of thumbing it, okay, let's do thumb, index, middle, ring. Thumb, index, middle, ring. Ukulele players, you're on your E chord, you're down here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. In French. Frère Jacques, Frère Jacques. Dormez-vous, dormez-vous. Don't change your pattern. Sonnez les matines, sonnez les matines. Ding, dang, dong. Ding, dang, dong. Okay? Okay. Now, Q is saying, hey, man, I'm a little confused on the bar. Let's talk about that. You're playing... When you're playing with a baritone and they're in the key of E, you have to learn how to make an E chord, okay? And all you have to do, very straightforward, okay? You're going to put a bar on 4 and your pinky on 8. Okay? That's an E chord. Bar on 4, pinky on 8. Now, there's entire internet discussions about how to avoid doing this exact thing, and I have you doing it on day 3, really day 1, okay? Because it's going to be something you have to do as an instrumentalist. Bar on 4, add your pinky up here, first string on 8, okay, now it's an E chord. If you need to, if you're getting this sound, okay, which is normal, you would take your middle finger, lay it on top of your first finger, and press down a little harder. Okay, thumb is back here. You notice you don't see my thumb anywhere because it's actually hanging out right here behind where my middle finger typically would be. This is where my thumb is. You kind of see it, but I've got it pulled down here correctly, and I've got my middle finger is kind of helping smash down the bar. Okay, you won't do this forever. Then this doesn't teach you a bad habit, so it's okay to put your middle finger on that. But pretty soon you're going to have a strong enough hand where you don't need to do that. Okay, and then the other thing that will happen, eventually it gets strong enough where you don't even need your thumb. Okay, but in the meantime, we're going to be squishing kind of hard with our thumb to build up the strength of your hand here. Okay, so that's your E chord. When we're playing with baritones, we have to use the E chord because they're in the key of the E. Are you sleeping? Are you sleeping, Brother John? Brother John. Sony Martinez, Sony Martinez, ding dang dong, ding dang dong. Right, so that's what we're going to be doing there. Now, that's enough on Frère Jacques. Again, tomorrow is our last day of really digging into that, and so by tomorrow, I'm hoping that you're going to feel comfortable playing it as a melody on your instrument. I'm less concerned about you playing as accompaniment to the other instrument. I'm mostly concerned that you pick out 024 0024 0457 457 7975407. First string, second string, first string, first string, second string, first string. See, I was going too fast and I wasn't able to keep up with my 7975440. That's what's going to matter for tomorrow with Frere Jacques. Playing the chords is not a major deal. It looks like Pinky's on 7. Yes, Pinky's on 7. Did I say 8? I meant 7. Don't listen to Gary. I don't know what I'm talking about. 7. Yes, sorry. Your Pinky should be on 7. I probably said 8 repeatedly. Bar on 4, Pinky on 7. Thank you. Thank you, Mary. Thank you, Linda. Thank you, Q. Yes, the Pinky is on 7, not 8. Okay. Duh. Now I feel bad. All right, so that's your E chord, and that is strumming as well as plucking. I'm not too worried about you strumming. We'll figure that out as we go along, but I am terribly focused in on making sure you've got. Once you master melody on the ukulele, you are set for life. But we got to get that correct early on. Strumming is going to be a thing. You'll be fine with strumming. That's not a big deal. And we do enough now in these lessons where, because when I'm playing baritone, that's what you'll be doing is strumming, and you'll be learning all your chords and memorizing all that over time. That's a lifelong process. I still run into chords. I'm like, I don't remember what that chord is. I have to go look it up. And not often, but this is a long time I've been doing this, and so yeah, there's still chords that come up that I'm like, I'm not sure what that looks like. I'll go look it up. So there's that. All right, now here's what's important. Rob just showed up. Rob is in Texas. Those of us who are not in Texas are super glad we are not in Texas right now. Their entire electrical system has gone down, and so it's a terrible, dire situation in Texas. And not only that, but Rob's heating system actually went out, and so I know they have the heating guy right there right now putting in a new heating system. So here's what Rob reports. HVAC is almost installed. Thank goodness. The fireplace, space heaters, and oven helped keep us warm. They did have electricity. That's very, very good. A lot of people down in Texas don't even have that. Microwave oven didn't warm us at all. We put our tinfoil hat on and we sat in the microwave. Don't sit in the microwave to warm up. Let's see. So much for all this modern technology. Yeah, it turns out here's what we have figured out as Americans. If you don't have electricity, you are in major, major problems, because you can't charge up your phone, and if you can't charge up your phone, why be alive? Two, you can't. If there's no electricity, they can't run the water system. That's the hard part. Is, man, the electricity goes down, all of a sudden water goes down, and then yeah, I mean, seriously. So, Rob, delighted that you managed to keep your electricity. Delighted that the HVAC is going in. I've been terribly worried. Not only that, and Rob doesn't report this, they got 18. Is it 18 or 11? You got way more snow than you've ever gotten before. Here in Colorado, we get 18 inches of snow. You kind of, yeah, that's what happens, right? When you're in Texas and you don't even own a coat, and you get that much snow. Rob's significant other reported that their biggest snow before this was half an inch, and they got 18. He just wrote 18 inches. Before this, they were used to a half an inch was a lot. 18 inches, incredible. And this was after last summer. They had 2 hurricanes roll through Rob's neighborhood, plus a major COVID outbreak. So it's been rough. It's been rough down there in Texarkana. Glad you're doing well. Delighted you're here. We will accept the fact that you might not be 100% focused in on your ukulele studies at the moment, Rob. Q is asking, where do you put the index finger on the 7, 9, 7, 5, 4 measures? Okay, great. So with that, it doesn't matter overly when you're playing this which fingers for sure you do. I do have on that piece of paper, Q, in the lyric lines, I do have exactly what fingers I'd recommend you use. But on the 7, 9, 7, 5, 4 measure, I use 7 as a ring, pinky is the 9, coming back to the ring still, it's still sitting on 7. Then I'm going to use my middle finger on 5, index finger on 4, and then I'm going to open it up. So my index finger ends up on 4 to speak to your direct question. But you could do other choices. You could do 7, 9, 7, index, index. You could use the index twice. I wouldn't lose my mind. But I do like you to just be practicing using different fingers for different frets, because over time we have a system, this positional system, where we will, generally speaking, know exactly what finger you should be using on. However, as you move down the fretboard, you start having choices about the best way to finger different songs, and there won't be one set of rules that we use. But just as long as you're using different fingers on here, that's the big key with playing this first melody is, hey, I just don't want you using the same finger for everything, because we've got to learn to be using all 4 of these fingers. And if you're just using your index finger, you can, a really not cool thing can happen. So what we want to do is ring, pinky, ring, middle, index, open. And it should be right there in the, it is right there in the lyric line for you, Q, in case you're like, I don't remember what he said about this. Just notice up in the lyric line, I'm going to pull it up, make sure I'm not saying something that's not true, because I've already said enough not true today. Yeah, right up in your lyric line, very first line of the lyrics. Open, middle, pinky, open, open, middle, pinky, open, index, middle, pinky, ring, pinky, ring, middle, index, open, ring, pinky, ring, middle, index, open. First string, second string, first string. So I wrote the whole thing out, so you should be able to just use that as your reference. Okay, now let's talk about the Better Bar worksheet. Grab your Make a Better Bar worksheet. Several things that happen as instrumentalists. Okay, one, when you go to all the other ukulele things, every single thing, it's this. Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high. And that is so good. That is so good. That is like crack. And for the first 6 months of owning ukulele, you think you have arrived. And it is awesome, and it is wonderful. Here's the problem with that way of playing, is that if you don't like singing, which involves 80% of you, you're going to get real tired of that real fast. And so I would suggest that the reason you're here is that, one, either you don't want to sing, or if you do sing, you'd just like to be more than that. Okay, and that's where we spend our time talking about tablature, learning to get the melody out of this. The other problem with this style of play is that when you hang around with ukulele players, you're going to spend a whole lot of time making a C chord, you're going to spend a whole lot of time making a G chord, you're going to make a lot of F chords, and not a whole lot else. And pretty soon you're going to be like, I'm kind of bored with this. I'm kind of bored with playing ukulele this way, because it's the same. It's the same. We always, in ukulele groups, we always simplify the chord settings so that you don't end up with D minor sevenths, which we have all of the time in this. You won't be playing, you'll be playing this one B flat, which you'll hate, but you won't be playing this B flat, and we play that one all the time. If you play this D minor at all, you will never play this D minor. You will wish that this is your only C, and then you find out that's a C, and that's a C, and this is a C. And so there's all sorts of stuff that we end up having to do as instrumentalists, which is fun, which keeps your brain active and keeps you growing in the program, and keeps you thinking about other things you can do with this instrument. And pretty soon, not in addition to singing, you're doing lots of other stuff. One of the things that happens when you play this thing instrumentally is this is your lowest note you can make. And this is, well, however many frets you have, is the highest note you can make. But really, the ukulele stops being useful about fret 10. That's about the last note you'd really want to hear in life. When you get to 12, I'm not sure we need that note in our life. If you get to 15, I have a private student who was playing on 15 yesterday. That's just not a sound you really need in your life. So about 10 is where this thing falls apart. And so you've got this your lowest note, and this your highest note. And all of the songs have to fit in that space. And the cool part about that is it means you're going to have to use different keys and different sets of chords in order to make that happen. The other thing that's going to happen is you're going to end up needing to have a chord. This C chord isn't going to work if you're playing a melody way down here. You're going to end up having to use this C chord. And so in order to use these chords further down the neck, you have to get good at your bar. And this is your bar. Okay? If you ever played a guitar and you had a capo, this is your capo. Okay? This is your capo. If you have a capo for ukulele, I want you to go throw it away. Okay? Just be brave. Take it and toss it in the trash can. You're never going to need it. Okay? Because you've hung out with me and you're going to be good at making a bar. So let's grab your Make It Better bar. Ukulele players, by yourself. Baritone players, sit and watch the lesson. Don't play with me because it'll sound wrong. Okay, you're using the ukulele version. Baritone players, you're doing nothing other than watching. Okay, we're going to take this bar. We're going to take these 4 fingers: thumb, index, middle, ring. Thumb on the top string, then middle on the second string, third string. Sorry, middle on your second string and ring on your first string. Okay, they're numbered backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to do 4, 3, 2, 1. Thumb, index, middle, ring. Let me tell you why this is. 2 things are very important as are going on here. You're going to learn to make a great bar, but you're also going to learn to play arpeggios. Okay, so get 2 lessons for the price of 1. Thumb, index, middle, ring. Now, as we go up, you're going to take your bar, you're going to go to fret number 1, then fret number 2, then fret number 3, then fret number 4, all the way down to fret number 12. When we get to 12, we're going to change the pattern. Then we're going, let me see that. Then we're going to play ring, middle, index, thumb. Ring, middle, index, thumb. Ring, middle, index, thumb. So we're going to reverse that pattern. We're going to start teaching these fingers to live their own lives, independent and happy from one another. They've never done that. Your whole life you're always grabbing and working, and their fingers are always hanging out together. Now you're going to be asking them to do the spider thing, and they're not going to be happy with it in the beginning. Here we go. From the top, baritone players, just watch. 1, 2, 3, 4. Thumb, index, middle, ring, slide up. Thumb, index, middle, ring, fret 2. Thumb, index, middle, ring, fret 3. Fret 4. Fret 5. 6. 7. 8, 9. You can use your middle finger to press down your bar if you have to. 11. Here's 12. Now you're going to change your pattern. Ring, middle, index, thumb, ring, middle, index, thumb. Fret 10, ring, middle, index, thumb, ring, middle, index, thumb. 8, the famous 8 we didn't need earlier. Here's 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then finish up. Okay, beautiful. Okay. 2 things you're working on. 1, getting clean, pretty tones in all 12 frets on all 4 strings, all the way up and back. Playing thumb, index, middle, ring, and then ring, middle, index, thumb. Those are all, both of those skill sets are going to be a central part of everything you do as an instrumental player going forward. Because 1 is teaching you bar chords up the neck. We got to get the bar good. And then we got to get the bar good. We got to get it good. Okay. And then we also need to be able to play arpeggio patterns over here so that we can start filling in and decorating our music as we go along. Baritone players, it's your turn. Okay. Ukulele players, you're just listening to see how many times I hit a dead note, right? Or hit a kind of a, not so great note, or a kind of hit that sound. Trying to avoid all of those. Okay. But again, paying attention to getting my bar in clean, okay, and then doing this, okay. from the top, baritone players only. 1, 2, 3, 4. Thumb, index, middle, ring. 1, 2, 3, 4. Trying to keep my notes nice and even. I want them all to be about the same volume. I want them all to be about the same length. I want them all to be clean and pretty. And then into 12. And then change your pattern. Ring, middle, index, thumb. 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 Do that every Friday for the rest of your life. You probably want to be thinking about doing that every single time you sit down and play the ukulele. You don't even need your sheet music, right? That's going to build this hand strength here. I just did it on 2 different instruments, right? And I'm like, my hand is like, ow, right? So I'm building this muscle here. You have 3 muscles that run your thumb, and we got to make them all pretty tough so that they can handle doing that type of a bar. Once we get good at bars, then we start adding chords in front of those bars, and then you can play everywhere on the instrument. Okay? Now, tomorrow, we will be playing Prairie Shaka in all the different ways. We will be playing that Make It Better bar worksheet, and then we're going to play out of our little book, okay? And I talked to you about, for sure, tomorrow, we will be playing the spaghetti one, whatever page he's on, page 12. Tomorrow we'll play page 12. Okay, I have a joke for page 12 that I love to say, so I will be preparing that joke tonight. And then we'll also play page 10 tomorrow, which is Kookaburra. So you want to play through this as many times tonight. So tonight, for sure, take a look at My Spaghetti Monster, not My Spaghetti Monster, On Top of Spaghetti, and then also Kookaburra, because Kookaburra uses all 4 of the chords on the front page. So again, take a little bit of time to get strumming through these and making sure it feels good for you. Now, who brought it up? Mindy brought it up. She says, you know what? I'm having a hard time making a D chord on my ukulele. I'm having a hard time. I'm struggling, Gary. So if you're not struggling, you're probably not trying hard enough. That's the bottom line with music, right? You should be struggling at every moment. Every single day I wake up, I'm like, gosh, I could have just become when I was in college, I was the weekend secretary at Mock Realty in Boulder, Colorado. And that was a lovely job because I would go in and basically sit there all weekend and do my homework. And then once in a while I had to answer a phone. Once in a while I had to type something up. It turned out a couple of the realtors had mental issues and were not that nice. But it was a lovely experience. And why I ever stopped doing that, I don't know. But now I'm a musician, and every day it's a struggle. Every day, right? And so you should feel okay that you're struggling. A chord. Okay, let's do ukulele first. A chord. Okay, not too traumatic. Okay, F sharp minor right there. Okay, now here's where Mindy was saying, you know what, I'm fighting this D chord. So let's talk about several thoughts. One, if you are not able to, it depends on your hand size. When you come by a ukulele from me, the first thing I want to see is your hands. How big are your hands? How big are your fingers? And you would think it's related to the size of your body. It is not. My dad was a relatively small guy, 5'6", something like that, but he had gigantic mitts, and he could barely fit his hands in to play guitar chords, let alone ukulele. And I have what I think are what I would consider to be sort of standard issue hands. Just they're a regular size, regular fingers. Some of you have bigger diameter fingers, and you're going to struggle to get them into the frets on things. Some of you have shorter fingers, and you will struggle to reach. And then some of you bought the wrong ukulele, right? Some of you bought a soprano or a concert when you should have bought a tenor or a baritone, and so that's not a problem. You're going to learn to play that with the ukulele you have, but the next one you buy will probably be closer to the one you should have bought. Okay, so let's talk about D chord. Ideally, have a tenor ukulele with your standard issue hand. You're going to put an index finger in the kind of toward the back end of this top fret, and then second fret, top string, kind of toward the back end of the fret area, and then you're going to put your middle finger right below that, a little bit further forward, and then your ring finger just a little bit further forward. So all three of them. Let me see if I can get this in the camera correctly. How do I see? Okay, so index, middle, ring. That's what you're going for. Okay, now a couple of things about this. In the beginning, so notice I'm also leaving this bottom string wide open. Okay, so that string's being held wide open. Ideally, getting clean, pretty tones out of that. When you first start, you may get this. Okay, so you're going to squeeze a little harder. You're going to possibly need to adjust your fingers if you got them too far down this way. They're hard to fit in, or if you're so you may need to pull your hand up just a little bit to get them in there nice and straight. But you should also be okay with, in the beginning, having a hard time getting all those in there. You see, I got normal hands, I got the big tenor ukulele, and even still I'm a little tight in space there. It's a hard one, right? If this continues to be a massive problem for you, we want to start talking about baritone ukulele. I have lots of men with big meaty fingers, right? And they play ukulele, they do, right? But eventually they start playing baritone because I tell them they ought to try it, and they tend to stick with it because they just got a little more room on the fretboard, a little easier to do. And of course, baritone players, that's your A chord. That is a chord you're already been dealing with. Not near as much trouble fitting it in because you got a little more room on the fretboard to negotiate. But if you have a soprano or a concert and you're really, really fighting getting your D on, you might want to look at getting a tenor. If you already have a tenor, then we have to learn just to do this. I will tell you, when you first start, everything is hard. After you've been playing a while, you probably will. This will probably not be your main problem. If you have a tenor and you have basically standard issue type hands, this will probably not be a problem long term. But in the beginning, it's a problem for everybody. I'll give you one cheat that I'm okay with you doing. Okay, most of the chord cheats that you guys come up with, I'm not okay with you doing. But if you take this and you, instead of putting your index finger on the top string, put it on the second string, and then put your middle finger on the top string and your ring finger underneath that. Okay, so basically you're just instead of doing index, middle, ring, you're doing middle, index, ring. Okay, I'm okay with that as a cheat. You get a tiny bit more room when you do that, and you're not teaching yourself a bad habit. So I'm okay with you doing that. I would much rather you do just a regular 3 in a row, because the next stuff you have to do will be better. Okay, so we've got. I got to finish up here quickly. I'm running out of time. A chord, F sharp minor, D, and E7. If you did nothing tonight but just play through those 4 chords over and over, you would have a very happy life. I'm playing A chord, now it's F sharp minor. Here's the D chord, and an E7. Duke, 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 Duke of Earl, Duke, Duke of Earl, Duke, Duke, Duke of Earl, Duke, Duke. Every song from 1950 seems like they use these chords, and I don't know really why, but it sounds pretty cool. A, F sharp minor, and D, and E7, back to A. Okay, so that would be one way to just kind of continue to work on getting these chords into positioning. Baritones, same thing for you. And ukulele players, you can play along with me. Your chord shapes, you're starting off with the one that Mindy's fighting, right? A chord. Now your F sharp minor is a lot. It's a bar. We just worked on bars, right? So you grab your bar and put your ring finger up on the top string. Okay. Now your D looks like ukulele players have G chord coming next week, and they're going to be sad when they get it. Okay, you have to deal with it now. That's your G chord or D chord, sorry. And then you got a real nice, easy E7. Okay, so same thing. I'm playing an A chord now. It's F sharp minor. Here's my D chord, and here is E7. Duke, 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 Duke of Earl, Duke, Duke, Duke of Earl, Duke, Duke, Duke of Earl, Duke, Duke. These four chords, they always sound great. We're gonna learn a little music theory in this class. Okay, so that's all sounding really, if it were me, I would sit down with those four chords and I would just play all night and over and over and over until somebody in your family comes in and says, you got to stop, you're driving us crazy. And that's when you know you've officially become a musician. Okay, many times Donna's in the room. That's enough for today. I'm like, gotcha. Okay, let's play one song together as a group. Let's go grab Danny Boy, page 4. He says that. Let's do one song. Let's go play Danny Boy. Not the whole thing, just the first 2 verses. Okay, page 4. Page 4. I'm going to play it on baritone. Ukulele players, you're playing it on yours. Ukulele players, remember, you can put your chords right next to the side. Take the book apart and put the chords next to Danny Boy. So in case you forget, A chord, D chord, E7. That's the only 3 chords in the song. Baritone players, A chord, D chord, E7. Just the first 2 verses, and then we're done. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I think it's a 1 beat counting. Ready? Play. Oh, Danny boy, the pipes are calling from glen to glen and down the mountainside. The summer's gone and all the roses falling. It's you, must go and I must bide. But come ye back when summer's in the meadow, or when the valley's hushed and white with snow. Oh, I'll be here in sunshine or in shadow. Oh, Danny boy, I love you so. Okay, second verse goes on. So, this is a little book, right? That's not a kid song at all, right? I picked songs in here that are going to make you sound good in that key of A, and that you'll be like, yeah, I'm glad I'm taking up ukulele because I can play stuff like that. So, tomorrow we'll dig into this for sure. Spaghetti on top of spaghetti and what did I say there? Oh, kookaburra. And we'll be doing those. We'll be running through this system over and over and over. Okay, you can write songs from 1950 using that system. You're going to be playing melody on Frere Jacques and chords on Frere Jacques. We're going to run that better bar worksheet. Guys, if you end up decided, I hate Gary, I don't want to listen to that guy talk anymore, take that better bar worksheet with you and just become one with making a better bar. And I promise down the road you'll be like, yeah, I'm a legit musician because I can do that. So there we go. That's enough for today. Jody says, you explain things really well. Oh, thank you, Jody. That's very kind. Most of the time I'm busy blathering on, hoping something sticks. That's my system for teaching, is just to talk a lot as you've gotten that figured out. So tonight, practice your Frere Jacques, practice your better bar worksheet, and then play as much out of this as you can, because what we'll do tomorrow, we'll play those 2 songs, Kookaburra and On Top of Spaghetti, and then we'll take requests, right? So you can say, hey, I'm a Little Teapot. Can we play that? And you'll say, Soft Kitty, I love that from Big Bang Theory. Let's play that one. Old MacDonald had a farm. I have a farm. Well, let's play that one, right? Or whatever it is. It doesn't matter to me. Any of the songs out of here is fun. They're kind of kid songs, but they're kind of not too, right? These are really songs just to get you practicing singing and strumming, because the instruction that you tend to get on singing and strumming in the ukulele world tends to be pretty iffy. And I want you to know the right way to do stuff so you can do everything rather than working on one specific song with some specific skill set. All right, guys, have a wonderful day. I hope you're doing well. Rob, delighted that you're going to have heat tonight. That's I'm going to rest easy, knowing that you've got the inside of the house is not the same as the outside of the house. And the rest of you guys, hopefully everything's coming along great. Next hour we're doing Tin Pan Alley songs. The complexity goes up a whole lot, but you can certainly come and sit in with us next hour in terms of playing melody, in terms of playing chords, learning all that stuff. It's beautiful music we're working on in the next hour, so feel free to come join us in that. And there we go. Okay, random act of kindness. Try to do one a week. Be safe. Get your vaccine shot when you can. You got to practice a little bit tonight, little bit, right? Just to make sure you're feeling comfy with what's on the paper. I'll see you tomorrow. Showing up is the hard part of this whole process. If you'll show up, I will make you a great player. I promise. I promise. And then if you're logged into YouTube or Google, if you will thumbs up me down here on the bottom of this, that's apparently get a free puppy after enough of those. And then go over to the website, jollyrogerukulele.com, and read the subscription page, read the subscribe page. I think I try to talk you into becoming a member of this activity. It's not too expensive, but you get to come on Monday nights where we do the really hard stuff and the really fancy, complex stuff, working together as an ensemble and all that stuff. That's really what I really want you to ultimately be doing, is joining us as an ensemble player. We got a worldwide orchestra right now building on that page. Last week I think we had 40-some players, and locally here I have about 80 that come to our rehearsal, and of course some of them think they're too good to come for the online stuff, but we're going to be doing the worldwide orchestra on Monday nights forever now, and it'll be very fun and exciting to have you guys be involved with that as well. So Nancy, good to see you. Jim, Jim, I apologize if I inadvertently put you into the French province. I know it's Alberta, because I actually looked into moving to Calgary at one point. I really love that city. I think it's beautiful there, and with the mountains in the background and a real modern city, kind of cool. So you live a little too far north for me, Jim. That's a little too cold up there. So all right, guys, I'm going to pull a plug, and I will see all of you next week. Or not next week, tomorrow, or I'll see you in the next hour. So pulling the plug. Have a great day.